I don't even want to interrupt. I don't even want to interrupt, bro. Okay, so me and my friend Ari went to this bookstore a few months back, and we were walking through the spiritual section of the bookstore, and they had all types of different material in that aisle. They had things about artifacts that like contain spiritual energy that are like placed all over the world, whether it be in like museums or on display or buried. They had books on like black magic and manifestation and setting your intentions. And we kind of just like made camp in the aisle, and we were talking about a lot of things. But she had asked me at some point, like, have I ever heard of like sex magic? Had I ever done it? And I was like, no, I have no idea what the fuck that is. What is that? And she expressed to me that basically it was the act of, whether it be with a partner or by yourself, setting an intention for something that you want, something that you desire, and focusing intensely on it while you're in the act of either pleasuring yourself or making love with another person. And basically what you do is you think about this intention, you think about this desire, this thing that you want the whole time. Like, that is your focus the whole entire time. And before you feel like you're about to reach a climax, you stop and you focus harder on your intention. You focus harder on your desires, right? And you keep doing that for as long as you can hold out. And then at the moment where you absolutely have to let go, where you absolutely have to release, you not only release physically, but you release your intention spiritually. You let it completely go. It is now in the hands of the universe. You've done everything that you can do. And she was telling me a little bit about, her testimonials and her experience with it and some of the results. And she's like, you should try it. And I was like, I definitely will. I'm definitely going to do that for sure. And I had a little bit of skepticism going into it, and not even the part that you would think someone would be skeptic about, right? Like actually having a desire and like, you know what I'm saying? Like participating in like a sexual act to get this desire, right? To like fulfill this intention. I had no doubt that shit would work. I've manifested so many things in my life that like nobody can really tell me shit. You can't tell me that it's a coincidence. You can't tell me that, oh, well, it just happened because you took the steps. It's like, yeah, of course. But like, I truly and deeply believe that you can ask and receive whatever you fucking want in this life. My skepticism came from my own fear, my own ability to really know if I could do that. Like if I could, like, I'm a very like sensual person. Like when I'm like making love with my partner, like I really am in the act. Like I am dying to the moment. I'm not like thinking about anything other than how can I like pleasure this woman. So I was like, how is that going to translate into me thinking about something that I want while in the act of intercourse? It just felt so foreign to me. And even with like thinking about doing it in in a masturbation sense, I was like, that's even worse in my opinion. Like, how the fuck am I, like, it's already like, you're I know everybody doesn't do this, but a lot of people use an external thing to be able to come to that point, like to be able to come to that point. And so it's like, if you're already not thinking about that, or you're already not using something like a visual aid, or like, porn is unhealthy as fuck. I don't want to say the P word, but yeah, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that shit's unhealthy. Don't do that. But if you're using that, if you happen to be using that, it's like, it's hard. I feel like it'd just be like hard enough without those things, to just like will yourself to like reach that point. So I had kind of chosen in my mind that I was gonna go the partner route. And so I talked to my partner about it, and she was completely down for it. She wanted to try it, and like me, she had the same skepticism, basically. Like, how the fuck, like, how the fuck am I gonna like think about some shit that I want with the kind of sex that we have? Like, it just seems so like foreign, bro. But I really gave it my best shot. And my intention was for the right opportunity to open up in the right space. Because I don't know if you guys know, you probably don't, but I've been in a little bit of a crisis, so to speak, as far as like when it comes to jobs and when it comes to like where I want to live. It's really difficult for me, because I wanted the right opportunity to present itself, basically. Like, I wasn't really as actively searching, because I'm very indecisive, and that kind of situation doesn't make it any better at all. You know, these are big ass decisions, and it's like, yeah, I chose to kind of idle a little bit and rely on the door to come to me, you know. And whereas I do think that works for certain situations, in other situations, I don't think that that's like the best course of action. So hold on, there's like a plane overhead, and that shit is going to be loud as fuck. It's a perfect time for some water. All right, we're not gonna mind that, dog. So the idea was and is to find the best opportunity that would allow me to travel, so I can create even better art in better locations. Also see my friends around the world and connect with them and create with them. B, enough money to support myself and to support these ventures, obviously, to support the art. And C, to be in the best location that's like, to be in the best location that's for me. I don't know how to put it. Like it's like, cause I don't have like a specific like destination in my mind when I think of places and I'm like, oh, that's where I want to live, or that's where I would like to spend my time. It's not because of any particular reason. It's a lot of things, you know what I mean? So, you know, I wanted all of these things to be the case, right? Whether that be something that I can get where I can work from home and take that shit anywhere, something that I can get where I'm like getting the type of benefits to where it's like, it's nothing to travel, it's nothing to go here, there. You know, it seems like a tall ask in a sense, but like when you shrink yourself down, when you shrink your desires down, why the fuck would you get them? Like, why would you expect to receive them? Damn, I gotta be transparent with y'all right now. I don't want to move from this spot, but that shit is mad annoying. Like, that shit is actually cutting through my train of thought. This fucking noise. I don't even know what that is. That's so funny. That shit just like started. That shit scaring the birds off and shit. Like, it's so annoying. Thank you. Thank you for hearing me, obviously. But yeah, okay. So anyways, I just wanted the right opportunity, basically. So that was my focus during our session. And I really let it go. I really did. I thought that would also be kind of a difficult thing to do. Like, really let your intention go, let your desire go fully. Not put too much like thought into it after the fact. And I think part of the reason for doing that is also making sure that like you're not creating skepticism within your mind. You're not creating skepticism within the universe. You're not giving the universe any reason to doubt that this is what you really want. You know what I mean? Because the more you overthink something, the more you cast doubt on it. So I definitely didn't want to do that. And so we fast forward a couple months, right? And sure enough, it arrives on the doorstep, the opportunity that I was looking for. And I've been trying to decide how much details I want to give, because I just don't I don't know if I can lose the opportunity by talking about it necessarily. I don't think I can. Like, I might be overthinking that, but I think I'm good. But the opportunity was to work for an airline and to receive, flight benefits. And I was like, when it arrived on the doorstep, it wasn't surprising to me, the fact that it had appeared. It was just the timing of it was funny to me. It was just like, why now of all times? It's like, we're entering in spring, and now would be the time to be outside, and like it felt like so perfectly aligned. Like, it was just crazy. So the opportunity came, and it was just like, hey, self-scheduling interview, come in. And at that point, when I think interview, I'm gonna give y'all a little insight into my world. When I think interview, I think that shit's in the bag. Like, I already know, it's already confirmed. I've never went to a fucking interview and not been called back and hired for the job that I interviewed for. It's never happened. And you think, like, the more I guess the higher you go in job rank, or like, you know, the higher you go in opportunity, it'd be harder, or it'd be like less of a chance that you'd be the candidate that was chosen. But again, like, why wouldn't you be? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, if the opportunity comes to you, obviously you're chosen for it. So I'm trying to schedule the fucking interview, and that shit is not working. Like, it's not working. It's not letting me pick a slot. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So at that point, I'm like, okay, let me try to reach out. Let me try to, like, can't get in touch. Can't get anybody on the fucking phone. Trying to refresh the page. Still can't schedule the fucking interview. I'm like, okay. All right. So then I turn to, like, social media, right? I'm looking up, like, I'm typing in the title and the company and, like, TikTok and fucking Instagram, and trying to see if there's any, like, content around it and whatnot. And I'm like, all I'm finding is, like, people that are already in the position. Like, they already have the shit in the bag. It's already secured. So they're not even talking about this little fucking glitch that I'm going through and why I can't get anybody on the phone. So yeah, at that point, I was just like, I was really frustrated. And I didn't really know what to do. I thought about just, like, going up to the airport or whatever. And then I thought to myself, like, well, let me call the airport directly. So I called the airport and I'm like, hey, can I speak to such and such? Or can I get a representative of such and such on the line? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, okay. And I'm talking to the lady, and she's like, oh yeah, it's not letting you schedule the interview because there's no slots. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I didn't say that, but I'm thinking in my mind, like, what are you talking about? Like, it's showing it. She's like, yeah, you know, we don't have any slots available, but, you know, be on the lookout, and here's my direct line. You know, you could check back with us at any time if opportunity comes up. Just keep an eye out. And I was like, you know what? There's a lot of ways to feel about this right now, but, like, if I've learned anything, is the power of just, like, letting go. So I really just let that shit go. I released it completely into the universe's hands once again. I'm like, if it's meant to be, if this opportunity is meant to be, again, it'll come back around. I fully have trust in that. So fast forward about a week or so, a couple weeks, I guess. It's kind of a little bit of a interjection, but I had been wanting to get another tattoo. I kind of completed my sleeve on my left arm, and I've been wanting to start my right arm, but I've been having, like, a little bit of a crisis with trying to find an artist and just, like, feeling comfortable, because, you know, it's a fresh arm, bro. Like, it's a fresh start. And I knew what I wanted. I wanted something, like, very specific. So I'm looking at this dog right now that's, like, looking at me, and it didn't bark though. That's amazing that dog didn't bark, but there's, like, a dog off in the distance barking. But yeah, I know what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. And so it was very important to me to get it done right. And to give you a little insight, I wanted to tattoo some sigils. And I don't know if you guys know what sigils are, but sigils are very, very, very powerful tools of manifestation and getting one's desires. Up until this point, I had yet to design my sigils. I didn't know, there's a lot of methods to creating them, and I didn't know which method that I wanted to do. But I had finally settled on a method that I wanted to try. And basically what it entails is you write out a phrase, something simple, something direct and to the point, right? It could be, I am rich, just to throw something out there, right? I am rich. You cross out vowels and repeating letters from your phrase. And then you let your pencil or your pen or whatever, your writing instrument go to work. You let the power of the phrase take over, and you draw your sigil from the remaining letters. And obviously that could look like a lot of things. That might even sound like, what the fuck does that do? But it's really all about the power of intention. It really is. It's about what you believe is possible. And on another note, right? Funny thing about like manifestation, I used to have like second thoughts about like, am I really manifesting things? I think it's kind of normal too, right? You think like, damn, I'm so small, I'm so like inconsequential to the magnitude of like the earth and the universe. Like, how much power can I possibly hold by just like asking for what I want? And what really made me like kind of cast doubt over it was the fact that like sometimes I would manifest something and then it would happen. And then sometimes I would manifest something and it wouldn't happen how I thought it was going to happen, or it wouldn't happen at all. And it's such an easy way to manipulate yourself into thinking that it's not real, based on the fact that the timing's different than what you had thought, or that the fact that it didn't happen at all. And my thing was like, are things just happening because I'm asking for them? Or are things happening because like I'm doing things to make them happen? And it's like, I think it is a combination of both, but like that manifestation power, that's a real power that we all have. Like you can ask for whatever the fuck you want and really receive it. But if you're in your mind expecting some type of like disappointment already, or like, oh yeah, I did manifest it, but it's okay if it doesn't come true, because like it's probably not, like, it's like, what the fuck are you really doing? Like, of course, that who's gonna reward that? You know what I mean? Like, bro, take a chance. Like, really die to your desires, die to your art, bro. Like the best artists in the world to me are people that really gave it all for it. You know, that's the people that really get the shit that they want and desire. What'd you say?
Are you doing this for a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to learn, but yeah.
What's your YouTube channel called?
It's the Flow Network. So anyways, I was at work and this lady came up to me and her tattoos were amazing. Her tattoos were so fucking amazing. And I was just praying that she had got them done here. And I asked her, I was like, you know, where'd you get your tattoos? And she was like, oh, I got them done in such and such with such and such. Yeah, right up the road. I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking wonderful. So she gave me the contact info. I looked her up, looked the artist up. Shout out to Mills. I'm looking at her work and I'm like, this is perfect, because all I want right now is line work. And she's the best that I've seen so far at it. Like, I love it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm finna just like go to the shop and try to talk to her. And she wasn't there. She wasn't there. But guy was like, yeah, you know, just come back Friday. You know, she's really in a rush. She has to go. And so, you know, just come back Friday. I was like, we'll do. So in between this time, I get the opportunity again. Same exact opportunity. sends me a text like, hey, schedule your interview. I'm like, okay. So this time, click on it. I'm like, oh, it worked. Like, I'm in there. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Same day, time to design the sigil. So I did it. I go to the shop the following day. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm talking to her. This is what I want. This is what I want to get done. She's like, it's crazy because I just got finished moving and my books were completely closed. But I just opened them yesterday and I have no appointments. I'm like, wow. So mind you, my interview is on Wednesday. This past Wednesday, that just passed. My tattoo appointment is now on Monday. So I go, get the tattoos, get the sigils right, and I'm like, by the way, some people burn their sigils when they draw them and release them. Some people keep them, frame them, look at them every day, affirm them. Some people tattoo them. There's a lot of misconceptions about sigils already and like what that means. Like there's artists that I know that have sigils on them and people be like, oh, you know, they sold their soul to the devil and all this shit. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that, like if that was your intention, but it's like, yeah, it can also be used in a positive way. I was debating if I wanted to tell you guys my phrases, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why I was debating it. My phrases are, I am abundantly rich. My desires will flow onto me, and I am in alignment always. 3 of the most powerful things that I could ever say to myself. 3 things that I affirm almost daily. And 3 things I don't mind on my body whatsoever. So I get my tattoos, right? Beautiful tattoos. I get them. I'm gonna put a picture up too because they're healing right now and it kind of looks a little weird. I put them in a place where my sleeve would fall over the first 2 because I like things to in a way be out of sight and out of mind. I don't want to just like, I didn't want to get them like on my forearm or somewhere where it was just like very, very obvious to like even myself or anyone else. But if I do happen to kind of look down, I'm like, oh, I see, you know, I wear a lot of big shirts, obviously. This is not necessarily one of them because I can see two of my symbols. But I like it just as a subtle reminder and not so blatant for this particular thing because I have, in a way, let those phrases go, but I'm also affirming them at the same time every day. So I knew that I would get the job. I already knew I would get the job. There was no doubt in my mind that it was already written, you know? I had done all this work. I had done all of this work, and if you want to call it work, I guess, but it's like, I really just believed wholeheartedly that I was going to get it. There was no doubt in my mind. There was absolutely no doubt. And fucking spoiler alert, I got it, right? I feel like I have the perfect situation for me as of now. I have the ability to just go anywhere in the world that I want to go, you know? Like that is an amazing feeling. I'm also not gonna be like killing myself to do it either. I'm not working these excessive ass hours. Like it's not gonna be that, you know? Man, that is an amazing feeling. That is a truly amazing feeling. There's so much fucking art that I've been wanting to create for you guys and for myself as well. in just beautiful locations that I really had to like put a lot of planning to get to, you know? And I'm talking about just like more often than not. Like, you guys have seen videos of me in Switzerland, me in fucking Yosemite, you know, like that type of shit is like the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm really trying to do more often than not, like more consistent basis, because I just know what I can do from my mind. And I know how I want things to look. I want things to be just of the highest quality and the highest representation of my inner being. And now I have the ability to fucking do that, bro. And that is an amazing feeling. I'm truly blessed. I wanted to end this video with like a little bit of a funny story, but I think it's kind of relevant in a way. I was at work and this guy came up to me and we were kind of talking, and he was like, you know, what kind of things do you like to do? Like outside of this, obviously, like what are your hobbies? What are your passions? I was like, you know, I create, like I love to create. I love to make music. I love to create content on YouTube. I create a lot of the different things. And he was like, you know, what kind of content do you create? And I was like, I do flow, just a flow of things, bro. Like I do lifestyle content, travel content, spiritual content, again, that word, but you know, I do yoga flows and fucking make shit with my friends and whatever. And he was like, yeah, you know, my wife is like really interested in that. She would love that. She's somewhere in here. I'll let her know when she comes up. But you know, we just got back from a retreat from Sedona, and I was like, wow, like that's so crazy. Like, how was it? He was like, it was very touching. It was very telling. You know, you can really feel things out there that, you know, you can't feel anywhere else. And this is not the first time that I've heard this shit. Like, I've heard this from a few different fucking people about Sedona and the healing properties out there, and what you can really feel. Like there are light bodies dancing out there. There are portals truly to other dimensions out there. And yeah, he was just expressing how beautiful the experience was. And then his wife came up and he was like, hey, this guy does content on YouTube. He does spiritual content. He does flow, yoga flows on his channel. And you know, she subscribed right then and there. And this was like an older couple. They were pretty old, you know. Like I was definitely surprised that it was like this kind of back and forth going on. But you know, she was also expressing to me just about the beauty of Sedona and their retreat, and just how it was, you know, the experience that they had. And you know, we were just like really expressing gratitude back and forth. It was just such a weird moment to have in real time, like expressing gratitude back and forth, just about for each other. Essentially, like for each other, man. But it was just very beautiful. It was very beautiful. I was very appreciative of like that moment, because I've seldom really had moments where I talk to somebody and they like subscribe right in front of me or something, like, and better yet, where it's like a true like connection, like we're really relating to each other. Like I've like maybe like a year ago, I was like playing basketball with my friends, and these dudes showed up, and I was like filming it just to film it. And they're like, oh, are you gonna upload this? I was like, yeah, you know, subscribe to me. That's not really like a moment that's like, you know, it's cool. It's a cool moment. Like, obviously you have like a person that's like wants to see themselves on camera and shit, but like to have like that kind of connection where like I really felt like I met like kindred spirits, Yeah, that was really beautiful, man. But I say all that to say, like, I am definitely heading to Sedona sooner than later. Like, that is a destination that is so high up on the list now. Like, it's just been too much. Like, man, Trinity and her fucking partner went out there and they were like tripping and like just expressing gratitude for being out there as well. And that was literally like a fucking day after, like, literally I had that encounter. I saw that shit like a day after on Instagram, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay. Yeah, it's just time to go. So, yeah. I'm going to tune this ukulele now and attempt to play it. I'm not gonna do that on camera, probably. Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of my afternoon. But I appreciate you guys. Oh wait, special shout out to my coworker for giving me this. These are the gifts that I like. No reason gifts that resonate with the user. This is what I like. Okay. Very thoughtful, very, very like heartwarming. So like, shouts out to you for sure. Yeah, but I'm gonna bid you guys peace and thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in.